Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Wesley, your Tristan Animalcaster, and today I wanted to bring a more updated, in-depth review of Blade and Soul. About a week ago, I brought a first look slash review, but it was more of a first look. I didn't go in depth and go over all the features, all of what you could do in the game, and I wanted to give an overall rating on it. So in this video, it's going to be going over everything in the game: customization, graphics, environments, maps, everything. So let's get into it. We're going to start off with character customization. So if you guys don't know what Blade and Soul is, it is a Korean martial arts style MMO. It's been out in South Korea probably about 4 years, and it recently came out here in the Western world about 5-6 months ago. So it's been out for a bit, but you know, it's fairly new, and it definitely looks new. I mean, very impressive graphics, and we'll get into that soon. So first, let's start off with the customization, the character customization. So right off the bat, it's a little disappointing that you can only make 2 characters without having to use real money. If you want to add a slot, you have to purchase a voucher at the Hogmoon store, and that's a little disappointing because, you know, it's not pay to play, but it's pay to unlock, basically. So people that love making a lot of characters, they can only make 2 without paying money. And you know, what was I gonna say? That should be plenty, but they should have added at least 4 or 5, because some people like making a lot of characters, and you'll have to end up deleting characters to make more if you don't want to pay money. So let's get into the actual character creation. So create a new character, create character. So you'll notice that there are 4 races: the Jin, the Gon, the Lin, and the Yun. Hopefully I'm pronouncing those right. I know the Lin, I think I'm pronouncing right. But and then you have 4 classes for each. Actually 3, 4, 3. Okay, so you have 4 classes for the Jin, 3 for the Gon, 4 for the Lin, and 3 for the Yun. And some of these classes are specific to a race. So you have the Assassin, the Blade Master, the Kung Fu Master, and the Warlock for the Jin. For the Gon, you have the Kung Fu Master, the Force Master, and the Destroyer. For the Lin, you have the Blade Dancer, Summoner, Warlock, and Force Master. And Yun, you have the Blade Master, Kung Fu Master, and Force Master. For Lin, I'll show you an example. I have a Summoner that is class specific to this race right here, which they kind of like little midgets, but it's a really fun class to play, and it's probably the most unique character in the game. It's kind of like if you're playing as like a little elf or something, so really cool. Or not an elf, but you know, out of other MMOs, those short little characters, those short stumpy characters. I'm trying to think of the name. I forgot the name. A midget. I don't know. But so yeah, really in-depth customization. Over here you'll see you have the difficulty. It tells you how many stars, which really, the lower the stars, the easier it is to play solo. The higher the stars, it's going to be harder, and it's going to be harder to learn using the skills. So I'll show you an example of a really hard class. Right here, this Kung Fu Master is going to be really difficult. You'll have to learn how to use it. Because you're going to be using mainly your fist, and you're going to have to know a lot of defensive play. But this is definitely more for timing, and you have to know when to counterattack. But with the Summoner, which I use, it's one of the easiest classes in the game. It's the best solo class in the game. You have a little minion, a familiar to fight with you, which is a cat. So let's look into more of the customization. I want this to be a really in-depth review, because I haven't seen too many on YouTube reviews of this game that are, you know, really in depth. So as you can see, if you're not the type that wants to customize, you know, if you don't want to go full out on decorations and customizing, you know, every feature, you have presets right here. And of course, you know, this is not for me. I like to customize my character to the way I want, but here are some presets, a good amount. You also have face types, different eyes. These are mainly, you know, the Lin's going to be mainly anime style eyes, which is really cool. Look how big those eyes are. And then skin tone, hairdo, and there's just so many features. I mean, this really does remind me, customization wise, of, you know, Perfect World, which is another MMO. It's an older MMO, but that game had crazy customization. And yeah, there's so many hair colors, facial decorations, eyes. Look at all these if you zoom up, you have pupil. Look at those. Those are awesome. And then you have face customizations. You can change the brow position, eye position, head size, pelvis, everything. It just goes on and on. So really great character customization. I know I've been spending a lot of time on customization, but let's go back and I'll show you some things in the game. And then at the very end, we'll break it down for you and, you know, give you the pros and cons and an overall rating on a scale of 10. So, like I said, you know, this game is very in-depth. And, you know, I'm only level 8 right now. Actually, 9. I'm only level 9 right now. So, I'm not, you know, anywhere an expert at this game. But I can give the basics. And I'm very inclined to MMOs. I've probably played hundreds over the years. And I know basically all the features of MMOs. I mean, there's nothing that makes this MMO stand out completely from others. But there are a lot of cool features that are worth noting. So, also, when you join in the game, you have this daily dash, and spinning this can get you different equipment when you pass them, like food that recovers HP, or that one recovered 5,000 HP over 8 seconds. So let's spin again. Okay, we got the Hog Moon Mile noodles. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry, I had to text somebody. But yeah, we got, so as you can see, we passed that. We got the noodles. And basically it's a way to get free items. It's really helpful. So, there's my friend Channing right there. He's messaging me. That's who's texting me. He's in the game. So, let me show you some other things. So first off, graphically, I mean, the game looks amazing. There's just so much detail in everything in this, in the environments, in the far distant mountains. And you don't see that in every MMO. I mean, a lot of times you may, you know, like in Wizard 101, you may see details from far away, but when you get closer, they start to look kind of like this. I mean, some of this right here, like, this is not the best detailed, but look in the distance, look at the mountains, look at the waterfall, just look at how far the view is. And I mean, the water even looks amazing. You can see the fish swimming. It's all so realistic. And that's why this game, I mean, you really do have to have at least a good computer to run this game and to run it well. Because you don't want this game to be lagging all the time. And there are ways to fix that. And I'll give some ways right now to fix if you do have any kind of frame rate drops or lag issues. You want to make sure, so go to settings, you want to make sure that you have this checked. You go to graphics, advanced themes, you want to make sure you have auto options checked, and I still use it because it helps greatly. It automatically adjusts the graphics quality based on the frame rate. So let's say you're getting a lot of frame rate drops, it's going to lower those graphics, you know, not terribly. It's not going to make the graphics look bad if you're having frame rate drops, but it's going to definitely lower the textures and other things and help you out so you won't have as much lag. And also, you can go to your task manager, click on the game and set that priority to high. So, you know, it's your computer and your, you know, processor are mainly focusing on this game. That way, you know, it won't be running other applications as hard in the background. So yeah, like I said, details are amazing. I mean, just look, as you get closer, of course, on objects, they're not going to look as good. Like, let's say you get up to this post right here, or let's say you get up to this guy right here. I mean, but the characters, yeah, the characters never lose any kind of, you know, look at the up close. They look really great. So for the most part, I mean, graphics are amazing. Some of the best I've seen in an MMO, and probably the best I've seen overall in an MMO. So, yeah, overall graphics are amazing. Now, there are a ton of different environments and places to explore, and each area is different. This is the main village, the Bamboo Village. As you explore, you'll get to different places. So we're going to go to Everdusk, and I'll show you what I mean. And Everdusk is this kind of unsettling, dark environment. I'll show you. You get to this graveyard, and it gets really dark. And look, this is just so cool. I mean, this is all based off Korean culture, Korean, you know, the old traditional days, martial arts. And it's really cool. As you can see, I mean, we have all this bamboo here, and the graphics just look amazing. This looks like a $60 game you could buy. So, let's keep running. And as you can see, we're getting a little bit of frame rate drops from running like that. A few frame rate drops, but not anything too bad. So here we are in Everdusk. As you can see, the dungeons or the different instances to areas sometimes don't have a loading screen like this one right here. You just walk right through, but it does sometimes lag going through, which they could eventually fix in the future. It's no big problem. I'll show you once again. It kind of lags when you walk to this other area. See? Let's say you're trying to run through. As you can see, it lags a bit, but it's not that big of a deal. So here's a different area called Everdusk, and it's just so wide open, and everything looks amazing. It's cloudy, and just amazing textures, environments, detail put into this map. The graphic designers for this game are incredible, and they really did put a lot of effort into this game. Whatever you want to say about the game, whatever you want to say, if you're like, this is just like every other MMO, I mean, you can't complain about these graphics. They're just too awesome. So let's go into combat. We've been talking a lot about graphics and environments, textures. Let's go into combat. So combat is really similar to if you ever played Dragon Nest or Terra Online. Basically, it's not, World of Warcraft where you're just clicking on the enemy and letting all the attacks play out. It's real-time combat, which is a lot better in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of games, and it just seems like the same repetitive robot actions. You push on the skill and it does it for you. In this game, like I said, it's real-time. So let's attack this Black Rim Guard, and I'll show you. Since I have a summoner, my cat will do most of the attacking. I can make it do skills for me. So let's do it. And I'm just going to cast one of my own attacks that actually missed. One more. And we just wrecked through those enemies. So as you can see, the main attack... Oh, here's another one. As you can see, the main attack for the summoner is his familiar, which is the cat. And you can choose from, I believe, 5 or 6 cats. If you're a summoner, each has a different personality. So, yeah, really good solo class. I mean, it's basically like having a second character with you. And the cat actually has more health than you, which is crazy. So it's basically like having a stronger NPC helping you, which is really cool. Now, so combat is really fluid, probably some of the most fluid I've played. Of course, Dragon Nest has the same combat, but Dragon Nest is, of course, more instance-based. There are a lot of dungeons in this game, but as you can see, a lot of combat is open world, and I'm more of a fan of open world myself. That's why I switched from Dragon Nest to this game when I saw that this was open world and had similar combat. So let's look at the skills. Now, you press K or whatever you have your skill key bind to, and you can look at all your skills. Here's the key bindings of the skills. Right now, as you can see, we have our basic attack where you left mouse click. Right mouse will do a little bit more damage, let the heavier attack. Doom and Bloom. I'm not going to go over all the skills, but as you can see, it goes off key bindings. And I found the system a little confusing at first. Not so confusing that it's impossible to learn, but confusing that you can't really place skills in these, like you can't just drag the skills and place them on these hotkeys. You have to go by the key bindings. It's a little confusing. I wish they would have allowed you to drop and drag like most games. Basically 95% of MMOs allow you to drop and drag the skills, but it's no gigantic deal. I mean, as long as you can change the key bindings, it's not a problem at all. But the skills are really cool, and there's a fairly great amount of skills. I mean, there's a lot of branches and tiers for the skills, so I'm not going to complain about the skills themselves. Just that you can't place the skills in the hotbars just by dragging. That would make it so much easier. Let's take a look at the inventory. So inventory is, also a little bit pay to play. Like we saw in the beginning. Let me just get away from this guy. I'm just gonna run, get away. Let's just kill him. I don't care. Easy enough. Let's just throw a bomb. I want to show you. You can pick up these bombs. Let's say I want to throw it at an enemy. Kill them instantly. That's pretty awesome. So, let's get over here. Let's find a safe zone. I don't want to be standing out in the open and getting killed by any black ram losers. This guy can't get up here? So let me show you what I mean by inventory, guys. So inventory, it's kind of like how you have only 2 slots for characters. You have to have these dragon trade pouches to unlock inventory spots, and you have to have 8 of them, which is a lot. Now you can get these in game. I've already got these 2 from in game, and I got enough to unlock this row right here about level 3 or 4 when it gives it as a reward. But overall, I mean, it is basically almost, if you want more inventory, it's almost forcing you to buy dragon trade pouches, and there's not a ton of inventory space, which is a little disappointing. Not pay to play, not pay to win, but it is definitely if you're looking for more inventory, you're gonna need to get these bags somehow by grinding through quests, fighting enemies, or just buying them. Right here you'll see we have a soul shield. You're probably wondering what that is. That is basically armor like in other games, but it's different because this soul shield starts getting way more powerful as you get all the pieces. And you know, this, like, of course you can still put on outfits, but they're not going to give stats. They're just for looks. This soul shield is going to give all your stats. As you can see, this piece right here gives 10 HP, 7 evasion. Then it has set effects, and it's just a really cool system. So it's not your typical armor. You put on these boots, or you put on these pants, and they give 30 HP or 50 defense. It's using this soul shield kind of Korean. I'm not sure if that really has any true Korean history to it, but it's still really cool, the soul shield. And here's where you put your weapon. Right now I have a Hogmoon Staff. You can upgrade your weapons by managing equipment, which is really cool. And then you can offer different, like right here, offering for weapon. I put that there, and I almost have my Hogmoon Staff, or I have my Hogmoon Staff to level 5. And then you just evolve it. And that's good. I got to show you an example of the managing equipment, which is basically like crafting the equipment, or not crafting it, but it's basically like improving your equipment. It's like improving your staff to make it more strong and have better stats, and to have those stats grow. So overall inventory is not bad. It's just they could have provided more slots for both inventory and for character creation. At least like 5 or 6 slots for character creation. I can understand if you didn't want people to buy slots, but 2 is definitely not enough. So we've gone over a lot already. Let me also show you the movement. I mean, I know this video is really long, but I want to give an in-depth review, and I hope you guys are liking it. So movement is really fluid. It's some of the best movement I've seen in an MMO. So let's say you want to get from here all the way to that tree really fast. You can, instead of using a mount, you can actually speed run, which is a lot faster, and it's a lot cooler. So you can either double tap W, or you can hold W and hit shift. So I'll show you right now what I mean. And look how fast I'm running, guys. It's awesome. Definitely faster than most mounts in other games. And you can also glide. So while you're running, you can glide by hitting space and then hitting space again in midair. And the gliding isn't efficient. It doesn't go fast. It just looks really cool. It can give you a great look at the environment, and it's just a ton of fun. It's kind of like if you were using some kind of wings in another game, or bat wings, bird wings. If there was a bird wing mount, you could jump off a mountain. It's kind of like that, but it's like a flying squirrel. So I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. We're going to run, hit space, glide. And you can let go of all of the keys, and it just glides automatically. And if you want to get down, you just hit space again. So really cool. I mean, as you can see, it's not the most efficient movement method, but it's really cool. I love how they implemented both of these. It feels like you're like a martial arts master. So I'm not too far. I'm almost done showing you the game, and then I'll go over the pros and cons. And I hope you guys did like this video. I know it's a really long video, but I haven't seen too many in-depth reviews on YouTube of this game. And then I forgot to show you all these different rewards. There's your character status, inventory, or not rewards, but different menu options. Achievements, quest journal, world map, and of course these all have keys binded to them. You just have to memorize them if you want. And most of these come standard with most MMOs. I mean, M is always mostly going to be map. I is going to be inventory for most games. K is going to be your quest journal. It's not that hard to memorize these if you've been playing MMOs for a long time, which I've played hundreds probably, so I know basically everything that comes with these MMOs. So let's look at the I just got killed, as you guys can see. That's another thing I have to talk about before this video ends, and I hope I don't get killed again. So you can join one of 2 factions, and you have to make the choice based on which one you agree with. The one I am right now is the Crimson Order. The other faction is the Cerulean. It seems like there's a lot more Cerulean orders. I don't know why. I felt like when I was reading the Crimson, I felt like it was for the greater cause. I felt like it was more for the people than the government, or for than a leader, an evil leader or something. So, and it seems like most people chose Cerulean. I'm just getting killed like relentlessly. It's bad. So, but yeah, I would definitely, I'm not going to tell you which one to choose. It's your decision when you play the game. But if you want to be on my team, if you want to be on my side and add me and we can and level stuff, we don't want to be rivals or anything. So just join the Crimson, because that'd be bad. You have one guy Crimson, one guy Cerulean teaming up for I don't know what kind of good that is. They're both against each other. But so yeah. Overall, I showed you most of the game. There's the quest log, or that's not the quest. That's the skills. I didn't mean K was the quest. Where is it? Where's quest? J is the quest journal. This tells you all your skills. You can track them. And overall, and to summon my cat back, I gotta push tab. He starts like meditating, crying or something. I don't know. But it's overall a really cool game. I mean, leveling is fluid. It's not the fastest leveling in the world, but all the quests kind of go smoothly. I forgot to talk about the storyline. I can't believe I didn't talk about this first, but the storyline is really cliche. It's kind of a generic storyline. It's taking the whole "you're the chosen one" thing to this Korean martial arts theme, and I don't think it's bad by any means. I wouldn't say it's cheesy. I would just say it's basic, and it kind of follows every other MMO that comes out of Korea or that comes out of any country, really. I mean, most MMOs have that same storyline. You're this chosen one. You got to help us. You have to help us save this city, this village, even though you're not from here. That's basically how this one plays out. And you're a Hogmoon Arts disciple. You're a clan member. And I'm not going to give anything away. I don't want to give away the tutorial or the intro, but that's the school you are from. You're a disciple from the Hogmoon Arts, and you're forced to take on this role of being this hero for everyone. And I wouldn't say it's bad. I would just say it is a cliche, very basic storyline. And I guess it's worth following because, there will be quests that are interesting. I mean, I follow every storyline of every game. I like reading the dialogue. I know a lot of people just like skimming through it, but I would still suggest following it just so you know what's going on when you get to different areas and things. So, pros and cons. I know this was a very long review. Pros, amazing graphics. I mean, just the textures in general, the environments just look incredible. Some of the best graphics I have seen on an MMO. Another pro is that the movement system is very fluid. I mean, just the running in general is awesome. I mean, it's like speed running. The gliding is cool too. Combat, another pro, just awesome combat. It's like Dragon Nest and Terra combined. Very fluid. It's not the typical click and just have it auto attack. It's actually, real-time combat. And there are a lot of other pros. I'm probably going to forget to mention some pros. I guess another pro would be that, let's think of another pro. I mentioned a ton of cool things. Okay, class. There's one. Character creation is really great. Customization. It's just so in depth, and there's so much to customize. And the one thing which is going to be a con for me, and I'm going to start on the cons now, is that I wish they would have included more slots to create classes. There's only 2, and that's a little disappointing, especially since, people like creating classes and people like creating new characters, so that's a little disappointing. Another con is that there is some frame rate here and there. There are some frame rate issues here and there, and even if you have a really powerful high-end computer, I read where this game doesn't use all of the cores from your computer if it's high-end. It only uses about half. I don't know where I read that from, but that would be a little disappointing. So that would be a con. If they could fix anything, maybe try to fix the frame rate a little, going through dungeons, the little lag you get. I mean, the lag just going through instances in general, and the loading times are a little long, but overall, nothing really bad there. And I wouldn't say there's too many cons other than that. I mean, overall, the game is great. And what would I give it? I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. I'm not rating it too high. I'm not going to say it's the best game ever made, but it is an awesome game. And really, I mean, for a free-to-play game, people might say this is the same MMO, the same ropes, the same thing as of the same skills, the same features as every other MMO, but it's a free to play game. How can you complain? This game is barely pay to play. There's nothing pay to play. You don't have to pay money to beat this game, to go all the way through. At least I don't believe you have to. But it's awesome, and it's free to play, and the graphics, I mean, it looks like a $60 retail game, so it's definitely worth it. And that's one more con. It could be a pro or a con. The story is very cliche. The story is just like, I mean, any other MMO. And you may like that. You may like this whole storyline about being the chosen one. But I'm not personally the biggest fan of the story. You know, I still read it. I still enjoy it. And I would highly suggest still following any story of any game. I don't care if it's the same thing or a whole new story. I mean, it's definitely worth following, so you can enjoy the game to the fullest. But that could be a pro or a con depending on what you like. So thanks for watching, guys, and if you want more I almost said Dragon Nest. If you want more Blade and Soul, let me know. I know this was a very long review, but I hope you guys did enjoy. See you later.